Hello everybody, my name is David Batts. I'm the bass player for Savannah Rose Band. We play a lot of casinos across the United States from coast to coast. We play large venues. Basically anywhere we can get a booking anywhere in the United States, we'll go there and play. And we've had a lot of fun. The band is doing really well. We're getting ready to release the second album. This channel is going to be about bass gear. We're going to talk about my stuff. We're going to talk about other people's stuff. We're going to talk about live situations. We're going to talk about studio situations. I'm sitting here in my own studio here in Southern Illinois. I work out of Nashville. I'm also a producer in Nashville. I'm also an engineer in Nashville. So I got my hands in a little bit of everything, but when we're off the road and not touring, I do work in my own studio here, and we have bands come in, and my band records here. So a lot of the stuff, if you go to our website, listen to our music, you'll hear the stuff that was produced here in my studio. And we'll be looking forward to talking to everyone and everyone's comments about what kind of gear we're using and in the studio and out of the studio. My touring amps I use a smaller casino rig because they always have big front of house. And when we're in large venue stuff, if depending on what they have for front of house, I may take my big refrigerator, the SVT, all tube head with a 810 cabinet. My small rig is a Trace Elliott Transit B into a power amp into a 410 bottom. So it gets the job done. I've really been impressed with the Trace Elliott Transit B. We're going to be going over that on probably the next episode. Right now I just want to talk about the channel a little bit and maybe touch on the bass I use the most. And that bass is a Gary Granger 5-string, and on that bass I use Kurt Mangan strings, and I want to talk to you a little bit about those strings today, just on this first Let's Get to Know Everybody episode. This set of strings right here is my personal signature set from Kurt Mangan Strings, and I have my own personal gauge. And if you go to Kurt Mangan Strings, he'll be more than happy to set you up with pretty much whatever gauge, whatever type of string you want. I use stainless myself. You can get nickel, you can get flats. He's basically a boutique string builder. They're called Fusion Match Strings, and I can't say enough about them. The sustain on these things are huge. The first time I put these things on, I thought, oh man, I'm going to have to start muting some stuff because the sustain was so long. After about a week of them wearing in, the sustain was still there, of course, but it wasn't quite so long. I could hit an A string, set my guitar on a stand, and it would just sit there for an hour, and you'd still hear it. It was crazy, but they tend to last a long time, and I've been very happy with Kurt and these strings. Kurt's a personal friend of mine. We go back to when he worked at Ernie Ball. He was part of the reason I bought my first Music Man Stingray in '86, and it was one of the first few off the line. And we'll go through that bass on a whole segment another time, because that bass is very, very special. And I'm pretty sure the only other one like it is in the museum at Ernie Ball. But for today's deal, man, we're just going to talk about just getting this channel started and trying to get some people interested and looking at some different rigs. And from time to time, I'm out on the road and meet up with some pretty heavy hitters as far as bass players, and we're gonna try to film those rigs while I'm out on the road. We were in Casper, Wyoming, and Dusty Hill from ZZ Top came out and hung out watching our show for about 3 sets. And I'm not gonna say it wasn't a little bit nerve-wracking having one of the legends of rock set watch you play for a few hours, but it was great. And Dusty's a great guy, and I know those guys have pretty much made their mark on the world. So if you don't know who Dusty Hill from ZZ Top is by now, you're probably not a bass player. But just a quick look at my Gary Granger here. This is I bought this about a year ago, and it's what they call amethyst. The color is amethyst. It is a mahogany body with a set neck. It's not a cheap bass, that's for sure. I think retail on these Gary Grangers is somewhere around $38.95. And when I say the place where I got it from, they really didn't, they give me a good deal on it, but they didn't come off the price any. I had to trade some really good guitars in on this to be able to afford it myself. But this is, I needed a 5-string for a lot of country stuff. And my Stingray, my personal player, has become pretty much so valuable I'm almost afraid to take it out on the road with me. So in fear of something happening, something falling on it in the trailer, just somebody stealing it, or it falling over on stage. And I just, it hangs on the wall here in the studio, and it stays there pretty much. I have ordered a new Stingray, and that's what I'm going to take on the road with me, is a new Stingray, and keep my other one under lock and key here in the studio. But thanks for now. We're going to figure out a name for this new bass player TV show, and someone's already got that name, so we're going to come up with a good name in the next few episodes. Right now we are working on a full set for the TV show. This is being recorded in one of the rooms in my studio, and we use all DC lighting in the studio so that we don't pick up any noise anywhere. So I had to bring in some stage lights for this show today. Put the stage lights up so we could have enough light to film in the drum room here, and we'll also be filming the studio and showing everybody the studio. It's not a large studio, but it serves my needs here in Illinois. If we have any large stuff that we're tracking, we'll go to Nashville. I like to use I used to like to use Studio 19, but they've torn it down now. So we're checking out other studios. Richard K. Adler has a studio, and I'll probably be using his studio. He's got a nice place over there. And if you don't know who Richard K. Adler is, look him up on Google. Great producer. He's produced some greats: John Prine, Neil Young. The list is huge. So just Google his name, and if you're looking for a good producer in Nashville. And by the way, if you're looking for a producer that's maybe not quite as expensive as Richard, and I'm not saying he's expensive, but if you're looking for stuff that sounds like the kind of stuff that we do, that's don't hesitate to message me. I'd be glad to talk to you about producing some of your stuff. I will drop some links to our website and our music, so you can listen to some of the stuff that I've produced. Some of the bass lines that I've played, they were recorded mostly right here. A few tracks were done in Nashville, but most of the basic tracks were done here. When I do get a few big players on our stuff, when we do record in Nashville. But for now, my name's Dave Batts. Don't forget about Kurt Mangan Strings. Go to his website, go to his Facebook. If you're looking for good bass strings, you can, my 5-set and 4-set strings are on there. You can ask for David Batts signature sets if you like the gauges and stainless steel. And if not, go on there and pick out your own gauges. I'm sure Kurt can pretty much do anything you need him to do as far as string wise. So until the next episode, my name's Dave Batts, and we'll be looking at a lot of bass gear. Thank you.